the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
A little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Cup Series live on JTN season opener from the Daytona International Speedway. So glad you're joining us here on a Tuesday night in the daylight of the virtual world, but at the nighttime if you're out here on the East Coast. As always, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. Up here in the booth from Daytona, flying solo here tonight. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. We're going to go for 70 laps around this 2.5-mile super speedway. This, of course, is your AutoSim 2 race preview. Remember, AutoSim 2 now available on the Steam store for $9.99. Go check it out again, AutoSim 2. We talk about it, 70 laps to kick off the HOBO Racing Cup Series season. I believe our 3rd consecutive year here from Daytona with HOBO to kick off their year. A race that is always thrilling, always has its share of stories, and we're so happy to be able to bring those to you here this evening. See Dan Rubino in chat, Greg Stanzowski, I'm probably saying that wrong, Greg, you can correct me. Mackenzie West and Dan Rubino all in chat. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday evening. If you're just popping in, make sure you say hello. Always like to talk with folks during these races, especially when I'm up here in the booth by myself. I'd love to get your thoughts as the race goes on of who your picks to win are as well here before we get the race started. You're going to see drivers' names and times start to trickle across the top of your screen. They're currently out there for qualifying. We can't watch it, unfortunately, but we'll just keep our eyes on the ticker there at the top of the screen as those names start to float across from right to left. Ooh, gonna be fun. Gonna be a fun one here this evening. A large field here for HOBO, as it always is. Always makes this Daytona race extra special. Everyone getting ready to knock the dirt off their boots, some of the rust off their quarter panels, and have a lot of fun here this evening. We've seen our fair share of Daytona races this past week, going all the way back to last Thursday night when the Bomb Squad Racing League took to the highbanks here. Saw a thriller that night where BSR Ricky J took home a victory. Then we were back here at Daytona on Saturday for the Open Speedway 500. Another thrilling race where Cabana took home a checkered flag. Then we saw Darren Ingram in the Fast Renegade Cup Series take home a checkered flag on Sunday night with the Fast Renegade Pro Cup Series. And tonight, our last Daytona race until Sunday. Here with HOBO Racing. We're gonna see a great show here this evening, folks. Again, so happy that you're tuning in here with us this evening, and you're gonna be catching all the action. I see Patrick Cummings saying hello in chat as well. Welcome in, Patrick. Again, folks, as always, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you 1,000 times to make sure you click the like button and you're subscribed. Again, doing so helps support us so much here on JTN. I know it's the most cliche thing you can say on any type of social media like YouTube is at this point, is to, hit the like button, subscribe, and do all those things. But again, they do really help support us. They get our videos and our streams out into the multiverse of YouTube. And the more folks we can get tuning into these streams, the bigger stage we can provide for these drivers to do what they do best and take to the virtual racetrack here at leagues like Hobo. Qualifying has concluded. We've got our qualifying results here that I'll be reading off this evening. Like I'm missing a couple cars as well. Gonna try to figure those out. So while I try to get that figured out for you folks at home, get that situated, let's start by let me take you through tonight's starting lineup. Pole tonight at a time of 47 seconds, .077. It's going to be the number 4 of Matt Stern. To the outside, about a tenth off of that 4. Not actually, about, I'd call it 2/3 of a second off. It's going to be 113 of Caleb Lingle. Keith McLean in the 28 going to roll off in third with Randy Smith in the 10 to the outside. Our first of multiple team Speedland entries here this evening. Troy Donahue and Steve Grant going to roll off on row number 3 in the 81 and 11, respectively. It'll then be Wiley King in the 925 and Thundercar in the 136 rolling off on row number 4. Row 5 going to be comprised of the 41 of Josh Boyer and the 22 of Jason San Diego. Row 6 going to be the 11 of T. White and the 80. Row 6 is going to be the 88 in 11th spot T. White and the 59 of Duke Sorensen in 12th. Row 7 going to be comprised of the 31 of Jess Kennis and the 46 of Bob Gibson. Eddie Rayleigh and Mopar going to make up row number 8. Row 9 going to be the 9 of Fugate and the 94 of Ken Hansen. And rounding out your top 20, it'll be the 07 of Steve Rubino and the 48 of Phil Lacasse. In 21st, it's going to be the 14 of DJ Hinsky with the 27 of Frank Bombi. In the 23rd spot, it'll be the 740 of Michael Moore and the 188 of Larry D in 24th. Back there on row number 13, it'll be the 25 of Ron Simpson and the 85 of Ricky Bumbalo. Row 14 going to be the 7 of Rob Heath and the 124 of Rick Castle. Rounding out your first 15 rows in the 29th spot, it'll be the 78 of Ryan Johnson and the 5 of Joe Peacher. Those are all your cars that took times. Then joining them, we have the 13 of Harry Kodian, the 101 of Jeff Habbick, the 19 of Rod Weston, who won one night ago with TMP out at Auto Club, and Maverick in the 23, rounding out your field of 34 cars here tonight from Daytona. Again, folks, got a great show on tap for you here this evening. Again, make sure you stick around. As always, be a friend. Tell a friend about our streams here on JTN. Always a thrilling time to be broadcasting here with HOBO Racing, one of our first partners in terms of leagues that we were able to broadcast here on JTN. So always a great time. Always see some great racing action. Tonight going to be no different. We are looking forward to this event. Welcome in, Allie. Glad to hear you're starting to feel a bit better after being under the weather over the weekend. I know that's never fun to be sick on those days off. Yes, Mackenzie Rod going to be starting all the way out back. Elected not to take a time there in qualifying. So going to be starting back, I believe, in the 33rd position. But nothing that he can't overcome. Saw that last night. Greg talking about in chat, Team Speedland is celebrating their 25th anniversary. You're going to see all those Team Speedland cars They all have on the hood the Team Speedland 25th anniversary logo. You can also see it at the upper right of our screen right now in our sponsor banner. A big thank you to Team Speedland and for all of their sponsorship of tonight's race as well, for helping us get out to the track this year. It's always much appreciated. A couple new names in the field that we haven't seen before here, at least on one of our broadcasts. This 5-car of Joe Peacher. Now, the 24 of Mopar sporting a new paint scheme tonight. It's the Tide Ride. Thank you, Phil. Good luck tonight to you, too. But, I did want to share something. We were talking with Steve down in the garage area as accustomed. He said that since you're not in the race, we're probably going to get at least one, maybe two less cautions. So, again, I know you're going to be rooting for Steve, but he wanted me to make sure I said that on the broadcast for you. Field's going to get lined up here on the pit lane behind our Dodge Charger safety car. Ace car, whatever you want to call it. As we await the command again, folks, I'd like to remind you to make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Again, doing all those things does support us so much here on JTN. We cannot thank you enough for your continued support of all we do, as well as your continued support of great NR 2003 leagues like HOBO Racing. Cars getting gridded up. We await the command to get engines fired here from Daytona.
Drivers, start your engines!
So the field will roll off the pit lane here. Again, 34 cars strong. Gonna go for 70 laps tonight around this 2.5 mile historic super speedway. Get a good formation lap here. Again, it's going to be Matt Stern leading the field to green in that number 4 Crown Royal Chevrolet. Got Caleb Lingle to the outside, Keith McLean and Randy Smith there on row number 2. Troy Donahue, Steve Grant there on row number 3. 925, Wiley King, and then the 136 of Thunder Car, another new entry here. Josh Boyer and Jason San Diego going to round out your top 10 here for the start of this race. Folks, we like to tell you to sit back, relax, but tonight these drivers are going to be doing anything but that. It's going to be up on the wheel super speedway action here from Daytona, unlike anything you've ever seen. So at home, sit back, maybe crack open your beverage of choice, get some popcorn or your favorite snack. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the season opener for the HOBO Racing Cup Series from Daytona. Dodge Charger safety car leads the field here into the tri-oval. Ducks down pit lane, gives way to the 4. Matt Stern with control. Green flag and the HOBO Racing Cup Series season is underway here from Daytona. Field staying 2x2 here at the front. See the back half of this lead draft getting single file here early. No one back there wanting to push the issue. You don't want to get up into that eye of the storm that seems to always magically occur around the 15th to 10th place positions here. Matt Stern, though, out in front with help from the 28 of Keith McLean there. That Ford pushing that Chevrolet. I think there's probably some executives out there in the Motor City maybe not happy with what they're seeing as, well, you got a Ford to Pontiac there on the outside working together as well. Outside line with a good bit of momentum there off of turn number 4. You saw the 10 really able to close the gap there to Caleb Lingle in the 113 on the outside. That's going to help generate these runs on corner exit. The closer you can stay through the corners. You're going to see here, though, that inside line, Keith McLean just a little more confident right now, being closer to the bumper of that 4 car in front of him than it looks like the 10, although Smith giving a big shove to the 113 here down the back straightaway. He noses him ahead. Lingle will have the opportunity to drop to the bottom. Doesn't elect to take it. A wise move here early. You don't want to make anyone behind you angry by making a move that aggressive here on lap number 3, but also you want to try to get to that bottom because that will be the preferred line. You know, the shortest way around the racetrack and all those cliches is starting to see that outside line getting a little more formed up here as the bottom's starting to struggle. Barbara tune in as well. Welcome in. Steve right now is in that eye of the storm. Looks like he's in the 17th spot. Probably fluctuating between 17th, 16th, 18th with the way these lines are ebbing and flowing here early on. It's Caleb Lingle, though, with about a car length lead over Matt Stern there in the number 4. He's got, again, that 10 car. Randy Smith, again, one of those teams. Speedland 25th anniversary. You can tell all of those cars by the big 25th anniversary logo on the hood, as well as the 25th anniversary on the back of the spoilers. 925. Wiley King, another one of those drivers. 3rd car on the inside. Forward to talking more about that as we're given the opportunity throughout the race. No worries, Magoo. Welcome in. Couple familiar cats up there at the front of the field. You see the inside line nosing ahead. The cars towards the back of that line got a little bit closer. It's given this inside line a little more momentum as those drivers towards the back start to push. That energy translates up the drafting line. That's why you're able to see Matt Stern now pull away with the lead. Keith McLean a little loose there off the corner. Almost made contact with the side of the 113 and 10 cars. Welcome in, Nathan. Great viewing audience here tonight. Can't thank everyone enough for tuning in. I'm Joe Twiaski here at JTN's coverage of the HOBO Racing Cup Series season opener. Remember, if you want to get on the action, you can head on over to HOBORacing.com. We got it also linked down in the video description below. You see Matt Stern there in the 4. Ditches the 28 going down the back straightaway. He jumps to the outside line as here comes Keith McLean on the bottom in that 28 car. Always, folks, remember we're live both on Twitch as well as here on YouTube.com. Give you multiple options, some great options to watch our streams here each and every night. Again, make sure if you haven't already, please, oh please, click that like button. It helps support us so much here on JTN as you're watching some thrilling action here at the front of the field. It's Keith McLean on the bottom. Matthew Stern there on the outside of the number 4, getting a good shove from the 113 of Caleb Lingle. Caleb in that 113, of course, always a threat in that championship as the season goes on. Looking to get off to another good start here in 2023. Keeping our eyes here on the front, although a splinter starting to form in this pack. Eddie Rayleigh there in the 112, that U.S. Army Ford. Duke Sorensen there in the 59. Looked like they were losing some time on the cars in front of them. The 31 of Stakkenis and the 22 of Jason San Diego, although that gap's starting to close back up there through turns 3 and 4. Couple names that we'll expect to see start to work their way towards the front, or kind of towards the back here. Steve Rubino there in that Hobo Racing Ford. If you've been a long time NR 2003 broadcast watcher, you'll know Phil Lacasse there in the 48. Harry Kodian in the 13 is a big threat on these super speedways. Or in a Kevin Harvick rookie throwback in his 13 M4S installation Chevrolet. Talk about the 23 of Maverick. We'll have more on him later on tonight. Rod Weston, who won last night with TMP's Cup Series action, but now the front of the field getting a little spicy as Caleb Lingle's now clear of the inside. Had an opportunity to jump down in front of the inside line once again, but elected not to take it. $11 laps into this race here from Daytona. Only one car has gone a lap down. That's Jeff Habik in the 101. And these leaders also going to be coming up on that car. No draft for Habik. Going to make things a little interesting here. Hard to go 3 wide at this narrow of a racetrack. We got one in the wall. It's Phil Lacasse. 2 into the grass with the 740 of Michael Moore. The 13 of Harry Kodian. 740 hard into the outside, or inside wall. Got to come back up the track. He stopped there. Leave caution. Gonna... Ooh, no caution. Okay. Let's get you a look at what happened. So it looks like Lacasse in the 48 gets high here, clips the wall. 740 goes low. 48 comes off the wall. 740 back over, corrects into the 48. You saw him get on 2 wheels. And then look at these hits. Oh. Terrible hits there into the inside wall. Maybe some heavy damage on both the 740 and 13 cars. But we stay green here at the front of the field as Smith in the 10 makes a move to get to the inside, gets in front of Troy Donahue. Things have been shaken up here at the front of the field. Andy Smith in that Pontiac looking to take the lead here. Again, coming up on lap traffic, that's the 101 of Jeff Habik. You see these leaders try to get to the inside. They're going to try to go underneath that 101. Going to be tough here through the tri-oval. Lingle almost contact the 101s into the wall. Keeps that car up there, swerves into line. Bob Gibson in the 46, going to give him a break. That's really going to hurt the momentum of this outside line as here comes Smith on the bottom to the inside of Matt Stern, our pole sitter in the number 4. He's led the majority of the way so far. We're closing enough on that first round of green flag pit stops that always likes to break up this field. Randy Smith takes the lead here off of turn number 4. Outside still going to have some momentum. Although the 10 going to be able to edge the 4 there to the line. Folks, again, closing in on this first round of green flag pit stops. That's why we believe this line has kind of gotten thinned out. Got about a pack of 5 cars that were behind that incident that didn't cause a caution. You got about 3 cars right now stuck on the outside line. Again, expect hands to start being thrown out the window here momentarily. You're seeing just more of this static side-by-side. If you're Stern, if you're Lingle, you've been up front leading the line for a lot of this run. The leader always uses a little bit more fuel. You've probably heard that so much here in the last week. Probably don't want to hear it anymore, but whoever's leading the line is using a little bit more fuel. You don't get the advantages of being in the draft to somebody else. You don't have a car in front of you breaking the air. So you have all that air resistance on your nose. And up on the 13 of Harry Kodian. Again, that 13 car got into that inside wall after the incident there. Here on the exit of the tri-oval, things get tight through here. Three-wide a little tricky. As we got one around, it's the 112 of Eddie Rayleigh. That car tries to lift off the ground. Car swerving, 88-31 into the wall. Caution going to be out here for the first time tonight. The big one strikes here in turns 1 and 2 as we approach green flag pit stops. And numerous contenders are involved. See here again, just things get a little tight there with the 13. Cars start getting flung around. DJ Hinsky gonna go for a tumble there. On board with Josh Boyer. Right behind this initial contact in the 14, or 41 rather. That was awesome wreck avoidance. Then you see the wreck out the back. Jessica Kennis caught up in this one. We've seen this 31 and driver win a lot of races here. Like Sorensen not able to slow down. Jason San Diego had a heavy hit to the outside wall. Fugate barely gets caught up in this one in the 9. You saw that bright yellow car there closer to the center of the corners making some heavy contact to the outside wall. Get a look at this 9. Able to get through there, trying to catch the car. Ugh. Those are the ones that hurt more. Let's go driver's eye cam with Steve Rubino. We're not going to blur out the dashboard for you folks at home either. Does a good job of getting slowed up, and then just gets clipped there at the end. 78 coming back up the track, gonna get hit again by the 78. Again, we talked about it. Trying to navigate around these lap cars is so difficult here. That's really where this starts. Again, initial contact there with the 112 and the 22. Watch this hit from Jason San Diego. But under our first caution of the night, everyone going to come down pit road, get tires, fuel. A lot of damage most likely being repaired. A lot of sheet metal for the fans here. But again, staying out, he'll pit this next time by. But it's Matt Stern back out in front of the field. So, first caution of the night is out. Gives us some time to talk about our friends at TeamSpeedland.com. First big announcement has to do with this 23 of Maverick. Maverick, the newest member here in the 25th anniversary season for Team Speedland. He's going to have the John Deere colors adorning that car once again this year. Their team saying they always have enjoyed running with Maverick and looking forward to having him join the team. Yeah, Bino. Other great things, talking about Team Speedland. Let's try to find Steve Grant there in the number 11. You see him. Team Speedland started racing in 2004 here. Or not here at Hobo, but here in NR 2003. In leagues. And has made Hobo Racing home since 2013. And we can also catch this 11 car on Thursday nights, or with our friends at Bomb Squad Racing. Team Speedland was started in the basement of Steve's house with four computers networked together. This is a really cool note. Steve's nickname was Speed, as he watched a lot of Speed Racer as a kid. Speed Racer is an awesome cartoon. It says, unfortunately, I wish I could say that I got the racing bug from someone cool, but it is what it is. Speed Racer's pretty cool. So that's where the name comes from, Speedland. Wiley King, Bob Gibson, part of the original four, picked up Jason San Diego from his team, High Stakes Racing, while running at Grassroots Racing in 2005, and Randy Smith joined from MNT Racing League in 2012. Can't thank Steve and his entire team enough for bringing us out to this race tonight, sponsoring this event. Greg in chat, the other original member of Team Speedland. We were making the joke, Craig. 25th anniversary for Team Speedland, and I am younger than that. So, if you couldn't tell by the voice that I always get questioned on, but it's great to see. Obviously, we like to talk about it here a lot on JTN, the longevity of this sim, of this community, and Team Speedland, of course. And remember, you can head to speedland.com, but Team Speedland, a big part of that, and can't thank them enough again for continuing to race here with us at our 2003 and for being the sponsors of this event. Gonna go in that green. Matthew Stern with control here in the number 4. Randy Smith there in second. Caleb Lingle, Troy Donahue in the 81. And the 925 of Wiley King, your top 5. Again, single file restarts here. It's going to make things interesting as drivers try to get up to speed. Dodge Charger pace car pulls down onto the pit lane. Coming to the restart to lap 22 of 70 here from Daytona. Green flag, and we're back underway. We saw some side-by-side action there. Larry D in the 188 to the inside of Feature in the 5. Has help from the 9 of Fugate. Now side-by-side with the 9. Going to get help from the 7 here through the corner. A couple Fords getting linked up. At the front of the field, though, Wiley King in the 925. Dropping to the inside. I have help from Gibson. Talked about it. 3 of the original 4 there in your screen with Steve Grant on the outside in the 11. Rod Weston coming off the pit lane. Had some issues there with the 19. He's going to lose this draft, too, as he tries to get up to speed. Now, at the front, Caleb Lingle there in his Ford Fusion, getting a push from the Ford Mustang of Troy Donahue, the Ford Little Caesars machine. Pizza. Stern still leading the way here, but again, now we have things swapped from the start of this race. Lingle is on the outside line, now on the inside line. Stern was in the inside, now on the outside for most of the initial run, then kind of got up there as the run went on before we got that first caution. Seen some great side-by-side racing, though, here at the front of the field. The field a little more splintered right now. Again, a couple notes about guys that are going to work together. We know the 4, the 28 like to work together a lot. The 10, the 11, the 925, and the 46 and the 23, of course, got to work together here tonight. But as these drivers are side by side here in this lead pack, have another pack of cars right behind them, led by Ryan Johnson in the 78. Frank Bombi in the 27. Ron Simpson, Ricky Bumbalo, who was off the pace to start this race, but now has been given a chance in that Rockstar Dodge. Steve Rubino in the 07. Joe Peacher there in the 5. They're all in a little link together. Right now, top 3 clear on the outside. It's Matt Stern, Steve Grant, Randy Smith in second. I skipped a guy. My apologies. McLean ducks to the bottom, gets in front of the 113 of Lingle, gets out of line there, was 4th in line, now going to try to lead a charge there on the inside. Rod Weston again went down the pit lane and having issues with that 19 car. Folks, as we're working this second green flag run of the race, would like to remind you we got some more great racing action coming up for you here on JTN later on this week. Thursday night, it's going to be the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, their second race of the season from the Auto Club Speedway. Coverage kicking off at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it's the NASCAR Daytona 500K from right here at Daytona. Sunday, February 26th at 9 p.m. March 2nd, it'll be the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series back on JTN live from Las Vegas as they continue to go through their West Coast swing. Coverage kicking off for that one, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more, though, live right here only on JTN. See the top three all clear of this field. Silver Bullet, Randy Smith, Steve Grant. Keith McLean side by side with Josh Boyer here. Boyer kind of going to be by his lonesome there in that outside line. See if Wiley King jumps up there to get with his teammates. You're Matt Stern in this 4, you have to start to wonder about those cars behind you. Have to think that Team Speedland going to be a little more organized than Junior Motorsports was in the Xfinity race. There they go to the inside, going to look for the lead. It's Randy Smith in the number 10. Josh Boyer also going to jump down there in that 41, so going to try to embed himself with those two Pontiacs out in front of the field now as Randy Smith takes the lead in the number 10. Those two trying to clear up to the outside line once again after they were able to get by the 4. Although now the inside line with all the momentum. Might be wise to stay down there as Boyer tries to get to the inside of the 11. Josh Boyer now ducks back to the outside line. So those three able to work together to move their way around the number 4. They put the pole sitter Matt Stern back into the thick of things here. We're getting into the, we're closing in on halfway here from Daytona. Things are starting to equalize out. A couple cars have been eliminated from this race. Coming up on Sorensen there in the 59. A little bit of a better place to catch a lap car there through the corners, although it's going to get tight there between the two teammates, 23, 925. Matt Stern able to drop down to the bottom there after that little bit of a shake-up. We'll lose this outside line. A little bit of momentum might give Keith McLean the opportunity to get side by side with the 10 of Randy Smith here. Down the front we go. McLean on the bottom, Smith on the outside. Closer help goes to the 28. Good push coming from Caleb Lingle. 3 Fords hooked up there on the bottom right now. Counteract the 2 Pontiacs in the outside. McLean gonna go to the lead here through turns 1 and 2. Look to see if he can clear the 10, if he'll pull up to that outside line. He's clear for now. Momentum, though, going to start to rock with the outside line. See Maverick able to jump up there. Bob Gibson still up there in the 46. And folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight to JTN. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend about our streams here on JTN as well. As always, that is a huge, huge way to help support us. We appreciate it when you're able to do that. It helps, again, continue to grow this audience. We've seen some great growth here in the first real month of the racing season. January was a little more hit or miss with broadcasts week in and week out, but now we've gotten into the meat and potatoes of the racing year. Again, make sure if you haven't already, you click the like button, you subscribe. You can be a friend, tell a friend if you enjoy what you're seeing. We always appreciate that. We always also appreciate any feedback you can give us here on JTN, what we can do to make your viewing experience even better. As always, feel free to contact us, or you can also, say to the chat. Don't be too mean. Don't be too mean. Keith McClay takes the lead here. Caleb Lingle now clear for second. See if the 113 jumps to the outside line. Again, it's kind of just been an ebb and flow type of race here at the front. This front pack has gotten thinned out here with that first big crash going down into turns 1 and 2 there, working lap 18. Closed in on a set of pit stops here. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. And so happy to have you out here tonight watching. Know your teammates at Team Speedland are going to be happy. I know this is a big race for them, and I know Steve and his entire group, they're looking forward to helping bring us out to the track here for as many races as they can. Here at HOBO Racing on Tuesday nights, we always have a slam pack schedule of Tuesday night races, and it's always fun to fill up some of those dates with the guys here at HOBO Racing because they put on a great show. Everyone getting to the inside line here. Have to think green flag pit stops. And starting to be thrown out the windows. Incoming. Again, this is the most crucial part of these super speedway races, how you're able to get down pit lane. If you're able to stay with people and work together coming off a pit lane, and, who makes that mistake? Who speeds? Who isn't aggressive enough and loses the draft? Who flat spots their tires and has to take 2 or 4 depending on how bad they get them? It's all part of the games here on the super speedways, but now as you see the field get single file here off of turn number 4, going to see some cars duck to pit lane. Keith McLean going to lead down this first group. Be leading down Matt Stern. Smoke there from the 28. Talked about not trying to make mistakes. Randy Smith, Wiley King. So 4 takers there, the first time on pit lane from our leaders. See a couple cars coming back on track here in front. That was a little dangerous from the 25 of Simpson. We get through it. So again, these guys coming out together, that will help them. Frank Bombi in the 27, Steve Rubino, Ryan Johnson, they're going to be able to get together. You see they're going to try to jump up into this line, try to sniff a draft. Have to think the rest of these guys, they're going to be coming down the pit lane this time by Lingle leading. As Donahue, Steve Grant behind him, and here they come. Lingle really aggressive there coming to the line. Donahue got to get into the grass, going to miss pit entrance. In the 81, you see the 24 of Mopar almost getting shoved out into the grass. Maverick to his box. The 24 going to have to slow down to get to his box. Donahue gets onto pit lane. That's just kind of one of those things. You're going to have to eat a penalty there. For the 81, Caleb Lingle sideways into his box. Overshoots and has to back up. Got to get left side tires there on the 13. A lot of left side tire calls there in that grouping. So let's go back to this 4 that had already pit. led by Keith McLean. Matt Stern there in the 4, Randy Smith, Wiley King. They're all together. We'll see where they cycle through. Looks like Josh Boyer going to lead this second grouping of cars off of the pit lane. See Maverick there in the 23 behind Caleb Lingle. Let's see how this pack, if they can get formed back up here at the front of the field. So Keith McLean retakes the lead here in the 28 once everything cycles through. And we're probably still waiting on that. And no partner up here in the booth tonight, so it's going to be a little, I'm going to be a little behind on timing and scoring. So now we play the waiting game as this lead pack tries to get formed back up to that side-by-side racing. As these top 4 stay single file, it's going to be hard for these guys behind them to kind of catch back up. What you really want, especially if you're Maverick back here in this 23, you really want these guys to get side-by-side. That'll give you the opportunity to pull back up to them a little bit quicker, give you a little bit of a better run, too. I talked about being a little concerned with the 28 being quick on entry. Looks like Keith is okay in that car. Getting help again. We talked about the 28 and 4 always working well together here on the super speedways. They are hooked up here in the lead. So you got this pack here. We'll try to move back throughout the field. Got a second large pack of cars coming up on the 46 of Bob Gibson. They're going to have to try to roll around that car. See Frank Bombi in the 27 leading this train. These guys staying formed up, and if they can stay formed up, they have more cars in this line. They're about 10 seconds back of the lead. Might be a long shot to be able to catch those leaders. They're going to have to run about, we got 30 laps left. You probably want to at least get there with 10, so going to have to run about half a second faster each lap. And there is another pit stop in there at some point, too. Saw Ricky Bumbalo with a big moment there off the corner. Steve Rubino in this pack as well. I know a couple of these cars are probably hurt, too, from that big wreck, but if they can stay together, single file, start pushing each other, they might be able to start making up some time on that lead pack, especially if those guys get side by side, but they're also staying single file here. Again, that riding the race out game that we often see here on these super speedways when a field gets split up like this. It's all part of the fun. This is also the fun part of the broadcast where I don't have a lot to say. The second pack's starting to get a little racier. We'll try to follow them for the time being. Ron Simpson there in the 25, Ricky Bumbalo, Bob Gibson all hooked up there in the outside line. This is not what you want to see if you're Frank Bombi in the 27 kind of leading this line. You don't want to see these guys getting side by side. You want them to stay in line. You want them to work together. And right now they're working against each other a little bit. Trying to get some momentum going, trying to, you know, improve their position. You can't blame a race car driver for trying to move up in the running order. It's what they're, you know, it's what they're wired to do. Mackenzie Rod is 31st right now. It looks like about 5 laps down. Been having some issues with that 19. See him just slow here on the back straightaway. I have to think that there's something wrong with that car. Been going numerous laps down. Leader's going to be coming up on some more lap traffic. That lap traffic, if those cars are okay, you can see like the 5 here of Peacher at the back of this pack. If those cars are okay, you can kind of add them to your link. And that's going to help you, again, kind of keep good numbers on that second pack of cars. Again, we talked about they're about 10 seconds back. They're losing time now, 12 seconds back. So again, this lead grouping doing a good job of just riding right now. Know that they have to make another pit stop. Know that that's going to be the differentiator here at the end of this race. We've also lost a couple cars. You know, Mopar in this 24, Steve Grant in the 11. They were both part of that lead pack at one point. Bob Gibson in the 46 was part of the lead pack, now part of the second pack. So now that they've lost those numbers too, it would be a worry. But again, those guys getting racy back there is Lingle getting a little loose off the corner. Boyer had an issue in the 41. Great to see Josh back out on track after a horrendous wreck last night from Auto Club. Are just snapping loose on him on exit of turn 4. You'll be able to see some of those clips on our YouTube Shorts feed here later on this week. You missed the race, or you can check out the full race replay, as well as any race that we've ever broadcast here on JTN, right here on our YouTube channel. So, got an excellent back catalog. Phil LeCash trying to block the pack. Phil, what are you doing? My goodness, trying to pull a AJ Allmendinger, Ross Chastain there. For you folks that watched the Daytona 500 this past weekend, or last year, for that matter. I mean, it wasn't Daytona 500. It might have been Talladega last year, where Ross ended up winning. And I was utterly disappointed. But now that kind of breaks up this field, right? These guys get side by side. Wiley King there on the bottom. Going to try to... Looks like he's going to be able to get back in line. Maverick in the 23 as well. Stuck there on the bottom. Looks like these Team Speedland cars going to try to get hooked up and push themselves up to the front. Get around this 28. I think Keith McLean in that 28 might be okay with that, though. Again, we talked about it. You use a little bit more fuel when you're running in the lead. Donahue trying to find a way around the 4 of Matt Stern. So things getting a little racy here in this front pack. That second pack can get things figured out. It'll allow them to kind of close the gap. But these guys, less cars, too. So less cars, less energy, less speed. Less speed, the other group can catch you. Such a simple equation. But so many words that I used there. Folks, again, a great crowd here tonight live. Make sure if you haven't already, say hello in chat. Always love giving folks shout outs when they're tuning in here. As always, be a friend, tell a friend about our streams here on JTN. That is, again, the best way to help support us here on the JoeTow Network. Clicking like, subscribing, doing all those things. But yeah, we always appreciate folks sharing our live stream links. Always see a lot of drivers doing that. Really appreciate that. You know, I'd love to see this community continue, trying to keep this community as strong as we can here, and a great community at that. And you're seeing a great race here tonight. It's just a classic. It's a classic super speedway race. Something more akin to what you would have seen in the early 2000s, with different packs of cars getting formed up. And I mean, it's on brand for a game called the NASCAR Racing 2003 season, right? But not something you always see here on JTN. So getting a special treat tonight and seeing an excellent race that Keith McLean is currently leading the way. Matt Stern there in second. Trey Donahue moving up into third in that 81. Giving the 4 all he can handle down the back straightaway. Randy Smith, Wiley King, and Caleb Lingle trading back and forth that 5th spot Wiley King going to get the 4th spot. There's Donahue going to fall back to 5th in the 81. And they were able to add the 48 to this pack, Phil Lacasse, that Pennzoil car. Not the night that Lacasse and crew were looking for. This line getting single file again. Now we're once again approaching that last round of green flag pit stops. Everyone getting down into the inside. Have to be careful. Talked about, I believe Donahue actually a lap down. I might have made a mistake there, folks. He got shoved into the grass trying to come down pit lane. He's kind of just a number to add to this pack of cars. Yeah, there he is, 24th, 1 lap down. First car a lap down. Would be in line for a lucky dog, but Heacher and Lacasse also up in this pack, so that 81 not liking dropping back to the back of this line. Know that he's got a lot of speed still in that car, though, so 1 caution could be all that they need to get back into this race. And folks, you can also follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram now. We also, again, talked about posting those shorts here on YouTube. Well, we also post them on TikTok and Instagram as TikToks and Reels. You can also catch them on our Facebook page, too. I believe those things should be linked up, so go check those out as well. Like always, posting little snippets of the race to get people interested, to get our viewership up, too. There's a little selfishness in there, but... And that's a great way, too, if you miss a race, if maybe, you're maybe on the edge of your seat, maybe, do I want to watch this one? Do I want to skim through it, or do I want to skip it completely? Not that you ever should skip a race here on JTN, but we understand time is a valuable commodity. You can always check out those shorts. They'll give you a good rundown, lowdown on how the races went and whatnot. So, again, keep your eyes out for those as the weeks go on. Love providing those to folks, and they're becoming a bigger and bigger part of what we do here on JTN. So again, can't thank you folks enough at home for all your support, because they've been doing great here. Pit stops. Keith McLean, Matthew Stern going to come down the pit lane in the 28 and 4. I didn't think I would do that all night, and then of course I slipped up there. But Randy Smith, your new leader here, and you got more cars in this pack. You see the 07, 78, and 27 coming off a pit lane. They're together at least. Yeah, so Weston is definitely slow because he is running around the apron around this entire track. I think he's down a gear. He's going about 138 in 4th gear right now. So engine damage, top end speed is gone on that number 19 car, but admire the perseverance. Oh, we got one around. Back up the track. It's Maverick in the 27. We stay green. Heavy lick there for the new Team Speedland driver, making his first start for the team. These leaders, though, all able to get off pit road. Maverick even able to keep up with them here. Be able to latch onto this draft. So let's see. Where are Matt Stern and Keith McLean? There they are. I'm going to follow these guys as they try to catch up to that other group. Again, 2 cars versus 5. Going to be a little more difficult. I love it, Rich. Want to know, though, what team are you a fan of? Not familiar. Hope it's a team I don't hate. No, my Red Wings got to win tonight, so very happy about that. 2 points out of the playoffs right now with 4 games in hand. To go back to my childhood with a good Red Wings team, hopefully. Because, yeah, we talked about 2 cars together, though. A little bit slower than a group of 4, so... Caleb Lingle, Josh Boyer, Randy Smith, Wiley King all able to come off the pit lane together. Again, you got 2 teammates there with the 10 and 925. Have to think that they'll work together here in this scenario. Steve Rubino coming back off the pit lane in the 07. Looks like he is getting back up to speed, having to serve a penalty. Time for our TWB 10 to go coming later this year. It's new company for you and your friends and all your family. It's TWB. Head on over now to Tommy Bordeaux's pages on his social media to find out more about TWB. Again, it's your TWB 10 to go. And for inquiries about how to sponsor different segments of our broadcast here on JTN, you can reach out to us at JoeTowNetwork at gmail.com. So working the final laps of this race here from Daytona again. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight to JTN. It's Caleb Lingle with the lead. This 113 car has been up front all night long. These 4 at the front. An excellent job of executing green flag pit stops. Able to stay all together here. Working 9 laps to go. Talked about the Team Speedland teammates there. Randy Smith in the 10, Wiley King in the 925. They're sitting 3rd and 4th right now. Have to think that they will be working together here at the end to try to push themselves around the 113 and 41, or at least split them up. Steve Rubino on pit lane again, coming off now. Tough way for this race to wind down for Steve and that 07 team. Rod Weston going to go another lap down. Appreciate the perseverance there from driver 19. One last time here, folks. More great racing action coming up for you here on JTN. Again, we're live next Thursday night, Auto Club Speedway with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Coverage for that one beginning at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time as lap traffic going to get side by side and going to make it tough on these leaders. Jason San Diego swerving out of the way of Caleb Lingle. Lingle able to get on by. The rest of this lead pack going to float on by on the outside. Always frustrating as the leader. You understand it, but it's always frustrating. Wiley King made a move to get around the 10 of Smith. Moves himself up into the 3rd spot. think a lot of these drivers would disagree with you, Greg. Howdy, Nivek. It's been a while, and if I know who you are, I don't right now, and I apologize for that. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. Okay, alright, that makes sense. BP Coop as well, hello. We're coming down to the end of this one. 5 laps to go, 4.5 now as we head down the back straightaway. Caleb Lingle's still out in front. You're seeing this 925 trying to... It's going to be tough with only 4 cars here in this pack. It's going to be tough to get something working. I know you got numbers there with those 2 Pontiacs, but it will be very difficult. I think the 07 has some kind of transmission issue there. He's down on the apron, too. Got a couple cars running around the apron here at Daytona. It is an old school race. Going down to the end of this one. 4 cars here battling for the race win. Josh Boyer there in second. Caleb Linkle leading the way in the 113. Thank you for the subscription. Hope to see you tuning in more and more. Oh, we appreciate that too. Appreciate both of you tuning in here this evening. Welcome to the club. 3 to go. We're down to the end of this one. It's going to be all about when the 925 numbers and the 10 decide to make their move. Can Wiley King and Randy Smith find a way around these 2 Fords at the front of the field, or will Caleb Lingle and Josh Boyer be able to hold them off and duke it out for the win here tonight with just themselves? 2 laps to go this time at the line. 28 and 4, they're getting close enough to where if these guys get side by side, they're going to be able to grab a sniff of the draft. They can get a little bit. Things might get a little hectic there at the front. They might be able to steal an opportunity. You see Josh Boyer starting to back up to the 925, growing the gap between him and Caleb Lingle. Going to look for a run here down the back straightaway, coming up on lap traffic. That's the 59 Duke Sorensen. Leader's going to be able to navigate on by that car. There goes Wiley King looking to the outside of Josh Boyer. He'll get there going down into the entry at turn 3. Lingle going to, though, go to the bottom. Stays in front of the 41. Off of turn number 4. You see Boyer ducking to the inside. Caleb Lingle with the lead. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here from Daytona. Wiley King has been shuffled out. Here comes Keith McLean and Silver Bullet. They have entered the fray here at the front of the field and split up those Team Speedland cars. Caleb Lingle with the lead here down the back straightaway, hugging that yellow line there at the bottom as Josh Boyer ducks to the outside. Boyer there on the outside, going to get a push from the 28. Here comes Keith McLean, a big bump to the back of the 41, a big run coming. Now looking to the outside, he'll get there into turns 3 and 4. The 41 is out there. He's got help from behind, but will it be enough? Off of turn number 4, we're going to be side by side coming to the line. Lingle on the bottom, Boyer on the outside. Here comes Keith McLean to the inside. They crash to the line. Josh Boyer takes home the victory here from Daytona, and he's flipping after the line. Holy cannoli. Josh Boyer. That one was interesting, folks. Get another look at it. Off of turn number 4. They're checking each other. But Josh Boyer able to win that one. What a thriller. I still have no idea how Keith McLean got this big of a run. He darts down in front of the 10 there. Gets the inside, just makes the contact with Lingle in the 113. Causes the incident there. I think you chalk that one up to coming to the finish of a race, but... my goodness. How about that for a kickoff of a race? I think that's the most exciting thing I've seen in a while, and I feel like I butchered that call, folks. Great finish as Josh Boyer is able to take home the checkered flag here to kick off the HOBO Racing Cup Series season. Brings it around to the fans here at the start-finish line. Josh Boyer burns it down here. Your race winner from Daytona. It's hard to do burnouts with these super speedway setups and cars. Josh Boyer, though, takes home the checkered flag tonight. He'll kick off the season in the right way with the victory. We'll move on to our post-race interviews and results incoming. A great finish here tonight with the HOBO Racing Cup Series. Again, results going to be on your screens in a few moments, but before that, as it has become customary, let's get a word from one of our great partners, AutoSim2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear because AutoSim2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through AutoSim2's Sim Mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in Owner Mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim2. Again, folks, AutoSim2 is now available on the Steam store for $9.99. And go check it out. Again, that's AutoSim2. Full customizability. You can make that game anything you want it to be, and it's always such a great time. Let's go ahead and start by bringing in and getting to chat with our second place finisher here tonight. He's the driver of the number 113, Caleb Lingle. Caleb, you got a copy. All right, man. A thrilling finish. I know you're on the wrong side of it, but how do you chalk that last lap up? What do you chalk it up to? Obviously, it was a spectacular night for you in this 113 team. You qualify up there on the front row. You end up finishing right where you started. So, you know, I always feel like that's a positive. But when you look at tonight as a season opener compared to, you know, a race in the middle of the season, is there a level, I don't want to say disappointment with maybe finishing second, but when we're so early in the season, do these second place runs sting a little bit more? I was gonna say another champion finished second in his Daytona race over the weekend. I don't know what your opinions on old Joey Logano are, but hey, I feel like that's pretty good company to be in terms of ability behind the wheel. When you look now, obviously tonight's a different race. It's a super speedway. It's a kickoff race. It's a big field. As you turn your attention now, as we start to head into the regular season with air quotes, what is the goal? Just to continue to keep up that dominance you showed last year, win those races, get those top 5s, top 10s, podiums. Is that the goal, or are you going to be a little more selective with kind of how you run these races, how aggressive you go?
In the races and had some pretty bad finishes. So I hope to turn that around, just keep good finishes and keep some good finishes, keep some of that bad luck away. But, that's kind of hard to control. So we're just going to do the best we can and give it all we got, because you never know when those bad luck races are going to hit you.
Well, Caleb, it looks like we made an error on our end. Your mic was plugged in and I could hear you, but our viewers at home couldn't hear you. Do you want to try it? Can I try this again with you? Or
yeah, sure.
You got time?
Starting
okay.
all over?
Yeah, let's start again. Okay. Caleb Legal joined us up here in the booth again, folks at home. Sorry. But that first question, we were talking about, obviously you're leading coming to the end. It's disappointing to finish second here in a season opener. Kind of what's that takeaway there with the way that last lap ended up?
Yeah, with 3 or 4 to go, I saw that Keith and Matt were coming pretty quick on us, and I was trying to count the laps down to see if we were going to make it to the end before they caught us. And I knew it was going to be close, and they start catching us there at as soon as we take the white flag. And that just really changed how the draft was, how the momentum was going there at first 4 cars. And on the back straightaway, I saw the huge run that Josh had, and I tried to block it in turn 3, but he had such a big run that he got to my outside, and I had no help down there. So I just did everything I could to kind of push him up a little bit. I didn't want to make any contact, but he had such a big run from Keith that I did everything I could, and there's nothing else I could have done. So I felt good about that as far as I gave it all my all, but just came up a little bit short.
You're also talking about kind of obviously coming off the championship last year. You want to come out tonight. You want to win that race. I know there's disappointment in that with it being the first race of the year. It's, Daytona is always a big race. It doesn't matter how long the event is. It's still Daytona. Are those emotions of disappointment, are they a takeaway from tonight? Are they going to be gone tomorrow? Are they going to be gone next week? Kind of what's that outlook for you as a driver here?
Yeah, coming off the championship, it's always nice to come back to win it. But coming up second's a bummer. But this race here is pretty big. We had a really big field and really didn't know what to expect. There's a lot of new guys in here I haven't raced with before, didn't know their driving styles or anything like that. So I was really just trying to survive this race. And then when I got around some guys I knew and we had those green flag pit stops, I felt more confident about how the race is going to turn out. But yeah, so it's good to get off to a good start. But this one was just kind of, you never know what's going to happen. So I was happy with the top 2.
Well, Caleb, again, first off, thanks for giving us a little bit extra time here after our issues, but appreciate you stopping in here, talking with us after the second place run. Before we let you go, want to give you the opportunity. Again, as always, got a lot of great partners on this 113 team. Again, coming off the championship last year. Floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Joe. First off, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and all he does for me. I want to thank my teammates for their help. I didn't get to draft with a whole lot of them tonight. I did a little bit with Troy, but he had some pit road issues. But appreciate all the guys helping me and all the friends and family that is watching. Appreciate them tuning in, and appreciate you guys for broadcasting. And thank you to Steve Rubino and Bino for putting this league on, and Steve Grant over there at Team Speedland for sponsoring this race. And congratulations to their 25th anniversary and good racing with all these guys.
Caleb, again, as always, it's a pleasure to get to talk with you after this one. Congratulations on the great start to the year, and good luck here as the season starts to trudge on.
Thank you, Joe.
Caleb Langle, driver the number 113, your second place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and next go down to victory lane and bring in our race winner. He's the driver of the number 41. He leads one lap tonight, but it's the most important one. Josh Boyer. Josh, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Sure do.
All right. Hectic finish there. You're obviously in the best seat in the house for it. What'd you see there that got you this win?
Oh, well, really, I didn't have anything for the 113 until that Keith and those guys got to us. I really didn't think I had anything to have a shot to win today. I couldn't even get to Caleb's bumper. I didn't have enough momentum off the corners, and then just happened to, Keith caught us there, that group, and I saw him off of 2 in the high line, and he had some momentum, so I was able to jump up there, get a little boost from Keith, and kind of juked Caleb there into 3. He went low, and I went back out high, and I was able to keep the momentum going, and just excited to finish. Tried to hold my line, and it looked like we might have touched Caleb and I, and might have shot him down low as he was trying to kind of crowd me a bit there off of 4. But what a heck of a finish to start the season, man! I'm just excited, man.
Well, we know you've been in your fair share of these finishes on both ends of it. How's it feel though to win a race like that? We saw the rough run last night with the big incident off of turn 4 with TMP out at Auto Club. How's it feel to rebound after something like that and to be on the good end of one of these tight finishes?
Oh man, it feels great. This is probably my biggest win in Hobo. Open set. I'm not usually an open set guy, and a big field tonight, 32 guys, whatever we had, and to just keep myself out of trouble all night long, just put myself in a situation where I had a chance for the top 5 even. I was very happy with great pit stops all night long, and to rebound after what happened last night, it feels good. It feels good to put one together here, and like I said, I mean, it's probably one of my biggest wins in Hobo, I think, is tonight, and just really, really happy we got it done.
Josh, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. A fantastic finish. When you start a year with a win, does that... I know this race is different. It's a huge field. It's a super speedway. We can talk about the thousands of reasons why a Daytona race to kick off a year is different from every other race you guys are going to do, even the one back here in August. How does starting a year with a win set you up maybe different than, say you finish second, you finish third? Obviously, it's a lot different than finishing 33rd, 34th. But how does a win set you up compared to, just a good run here tonight?
Yeah, I think it helps me mentally prepare for these races and think, I can run in the top 5 with these guys. Some of these guys are just so darn fast with these open setups, and and I'm a guy that just goes and finds something that works for me and gets around the track without wrecking. And tonight, I think, I might belong with some of these guys sometimes, at least occasionally. And if I can just keep this up, keep my nose clean, run in the top 5 or top 10 all season long, maybe I might be in there in the discussion here at the end of the season, which would be a new experience for me here in the Open Setup Series.
Well, Josh, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Before we let you go, though, want to give you the opportunity. You've been up here plenty of times. You know what to do, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. First off, thanks to you guys for streaming us tonight. What a great way for us to start the season. A great field, great race. I mean, we had one caution flag. I mean, for that many guys and this game to run that long. I mean, great race from everybody tonight. Thanks to Steve and the Hobo guys. We again a testament to this league. We were talking tonight about how some of these guys have been doing this for 20 years, 25 years for the Speedland guys, right, together this year. So there are a lot of good friends here, a lot of great racers, and Hobo is a place to race on a weekly basis if folks are looking for a place. Thanks to Rocky, they're stepping up this year. That we got them in all 3 series on our car. Rocky's a Southeast Ohio company down here, based out of Nelsonville, and excited to have them on the car, all the cars this season, and hopefully we can keep this trend going, win some more races, and hopefully we'll see you again soon in Victory Lane, Joe.
Josh, as always, it's a pleasure to talk with you. Can't thank you enough for your time after this one. And again, go celebrate that win, buddy. You deserve it.
Thanks, buddy. Take care, guys.
Josh Boyer, driver the number 41, your race winner here tonight. Let's go ahead and finally bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 28. He made the finish extra interesting there at the end. Keith McLean. Mac Daddy, you got a copy?
I do. I try to make it exciting for y'all, boys.
Well, you left him crashing there at the line. Obviously, a hellacious run down the back straightaway when those guys kind of got side by side, trying to duke it out for the win there. How were you and Matt able to generate that big of a run that late and manage to make it successfully, right? I mean, I think you guys were almost a second back there when we came off of pit lane. You guys were just able to kind of chip away at that lead. How were you guys able to do that so successfully?
We just kept working hard. Matt kept pushing me hard. He stuck with me the whole race. I was hanging with him earlier. We got lucky when it came up on lap cars. I think it was the 740 and Jason San Diego and another car. And they had a little problem getting through them. And I was able to catch and get that extra little draft. And it sucked us up there. And then once we got that close, it was like, uh-oh, this is gonna be interesting. But
go ahead.
I give Josh a huge bump down the back. There at the end, Caleb get a good block, but it didn't hurt him because it bumped him so hard he just shot back to the top.
I was gonna say, when obviously you'd been up front all night long. You tie Matt for leading the most laps here with 19 apiece.
Matt.
When you kind of have that confidence running up front on a super speedway, does that help give you confidence when you're trying to make those passes to get back up front?
You just got to be able to see the air, Joe.
How do you see the air?
That's kind of weird, man. You know how you can just feel that momentum as you're coming up on somebody, and sometimes you get the run, and then sometimes they block it. But hey, we had a good run, man. Evan Williams, Ford Thunderbird, was strong. Or is it a Mustang?
It's a Fusion.
Fusion. I know, I'm so confused.
Already dipping into the celebratory.
I had me some
drinks.
Evan Williams during the race. I did.
Okay. Well,
Just
folks
a
at
little
home would like to remind you we don't condone drinking and driving. Keith, I guess it's
Hey,
okay. It's okay in the
funny
virtual
story,
world.
Joe. Funny story.
Okay.
So I was running a couple weeks ago. I won like 2 or 3 races, and then the next week I didn't do so good. And Mama said, "What's the difference? What's the problem?" I said, "I figured out you don't drink and drive, Mama." But hey, I want to give a shout out to Team Speedland 25th anniversary as their race team. Steve Grant, Jason San Diego, Wiley King, Bob Gibson, and Maverick. Great group of guys. They sponsored the race there. I've enjoyed racing with them. I've raced with most of them for 15, 20 years. So I just want to give a shout out to them, and shout out to Hobo for putting on a great race. 1 caution until the end. But hey, it was exciting. Great race.
Great race tonight, Keith. Again, as always, cannot thank you enough for your time. Congratulations once again on the 3rd place run here. We look forward to talking with you more throughout the season, and good luck here in the next couple weeks.
I appreciate it, Joe.
Keith McLean, driver of the number 28, your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Well, folks, that's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Daytona International Speedway. After a thrilling finish, a great classic super speedway race here tonight from Daytona. Had a lot of fun, and cannot thank you folks at home enough for taking the time to tune in with us here tonight on JTN. Remember, the next time we're going to be live is going to be Thursday night. Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action from out west at the Auto Club Speedway. We'll be back here at Daytona on Sunday with a special Daytona 500K with the NNSCRA. And again, guys, got a lot of great stuff coming up here on JTN. We can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. We hope to see you in chat. Make sure you say hello. Make sure you tell us if it's your first time, your last time, or your next time tuning in. And as always, appreciate all the support. Remember, you can follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We make it nice and easy for you. Uniform account name, again, at JoeTowNetwork. You can get all of our non-live content over on JTN2 here on YouTube. Full episodes of the Fake Racers podcast for myself, Davey Hazard and Matthew Steelman talk all things racing and sometimes some sim racing, as the title kind of implies. But with all that being said, a big thank you again, as always, to the folks here at HOBO Racing, Steve and Dan Rubino, for creating such an awesome league to watch these races, for always being gracious hosts, and a big thank you to Steve Grant and all of Team Speedland for their support of JTN, for reaching out to us, to broadcasting to broadcast this race tonight, some other ones throughout the rest of the season, and a big congratulations to them on their 25th anniversary. Again, folks, with all that being said, can't thank you enough for tuning in. I'm going to say it 1,000 more times, but for all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the trioval, Whitehill and through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the line and a wrecking behind him. You have cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down. It doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Sinner and Bordeaux for
Contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy